Here are 10 little rules almost every 1970s home had, even though no one ever clearly explained them. Number 1. The living room wasn't for everyday use. Most homes had a room that looked comfortable but didn't feel casual. You were allowed to enter the living room, but you didn't behave there the same way you did in other parts of the house. You sat carefully, often on the edge of furniture rather than sinking into it. You didn't sprawl, stretch out, or leave toys behind. This was the room for company. The furniture looked arranged rather than lived in. Cushions stayed in place, tables stayed clear, even the air felt quieter there. You instinctively lowered your voice without being told. Children understood quickly that the living room was symbolic. It represented the household to outsiders. It showed order, cleanliness, and respectability. Because of that, you treated it almost like a public space inside a private home. No one needed to forbid you from roughhousing there. The atmosphere did the work. You simply felt that this room deserved different behavior. Number 2. The kitchen table was for homework until dinner started. After school, the kitchen table became a workspace. Books opened, pencils rolled, and papers spread across its surface. It was where homework naturally happened because adults were nearby and the house still felt active. Conversation came and went, and you worked while daily life continued around you. But the moment cooking truly began, the purpose of the table changed. You didn't need to be told to move. The sounds were enough. Cabinets opening, pans set on the stove, ingredients appearing on the counter. Without discussion, you gathered your things and cleared the table. The transition was automatic. The table was no longer yours. It shifted from study space to family space, and you respected that shift without formal instruction. The same surface that held notebooks now held plates, and the house subtly reorganized itself around dinner. Number 3. Certain chairs belonged to certain people. In many homes, seating wasn't random. No labels existed, no one assigned spots out loud, yet everyone knew which chair belonged to whom. A particular parent sat in the same place every evening, and over time the rest of the family adjusted around that fact. If you accidentally chose the wrong chair, you sensed it immediately. Nothing dramatic happened, but a quiet pause, a glance, or a simple, "I'll sit there," made the message clear. You learned quickly. The chair wasn't ownership in a strict sense. It was routine. It represented habit and stability. Once you understood it, you never questioned it again. Eventually, you automatically chose a different seat each day without thinking because the pattern felt natural. Number 4. Lights stayed off during the day. Daylight was considered sufficient. If the sun was out, lights were unnecessary, even if a room seemed slightly dim. Turning on a light during the day often led to a gentle reminder. Electricity wasn't exactly scarce, but it was treated with caution. Sunlight was free. Electricity was something to be conserved. Windows opened, curtains were adjusted, and you moved closer to brighter spaces instead of flipping a switch. Over time, you stopped reaching for light switches automatically. You checked the window first. This rule taught awareness of the environment. You noticed time of day more carefully, and the house itself followed the natural rhythm of light and dark. Number 5. You didn't open the front door without checking first. The front door wasn't casual. When someone knocked or rang the bell, you didn't immediately open it. You looked out a window first or called for an adult. Even if you recognized the person, you paused. Permission mattered. The door marked the boundary between inside safety and outside uncertainty. Opening it was treated as an action requiring attention, not impulse. Children learned patience here. You waited, confirmed, and only then did the door open. Over time, you understood that the house controlled who entered, and you were part of maintaining that control. If this reminded you of the way your house worked growing up, subscribe here on YouTube or follow me on Facebook for more everyday memories from the past. Number 6. Noise rules changed after dinner. During the day, the house could be loud. Voices carried, footsteps were quick, and movement was constant. But after dinner, something shifted. No announcement was made, yet everyone felt it. The pace slowed. You walked more softly. Television volume lowered. Conversations softened. Evening brought a different atmosphere, one closer to rest than activity. Noise at night didn't bring punishment. It brought disapproval. It felt out of place, almost like breaking the mood of the house itself. The home transitioned into a quieter version of itself, and you adjusted automatically. Number 7. Bedrooms were private until they weren't.
Panasonic Color TV is 2,500 scientists, 40,000 technicians who have made color TV this easy to tune. Touch a button called Panel Lock and tune in our brightest picture, our sharpest picture.
You were allowed to close your bedroom door, but not completely and not indefinitely. Privacy existed, yet it had limits. Adults might knock lightly or sometimes simply enter. It wasn't seen as intrusion, it was seen as oversight. Children understood that their room was personal space, but still part of the household. You could spend time there, but you remained connected to the rest of the home. The boundary was flexible, and everyone accepted it without formal discussion. Number 8. Shoes came off in some rooms, not others.
Whiz Kids. You can really run in Whiz Kids shoes. You can really jump in Whiz Kids shoes. Whiz Kids.
There was rarely a written rule about shoes, yet everyone understood there were boundaries. In some parts of the house, you walked normally, straight in from outside without hesitation. In others, you stopped automatically, even if no one had said a word. The difference wasn't posted anywhere. It was learned gradually through small reactions and quiet corrections. Carpeted rooms were usually the first to teach it. You might step in without thinking once, only to hear a gentle reminder or see someone quickly glance down at your feet.
Susan, can I borrow your shoes again?
Sure, I wouldn't want to break your streak. My pants?
Wow, thanks. Your shoes just go with everything. And the poly bottom is so comfy. Free spirit.
Nothing dramatic happened, but the message was clear. After that, you paused every time.
I think I figured it out. Why they call them shoal exercise sandals. I got them because they feel so good, and they go almost anywhere, and because everybody else wears them. But you know, besides the comfort of the foam-padded leather strap and the smooth carved European beechwood, there's this toe grip. It sort of makes your toes hang on.
The living room often carried the strongest expectation. Floors there seemed cleaner, furniture more arranged, and movement more careful. Even children sensed that outside dirt didn't belong in that space. Without being told, you began slipping your shoes off near the doorway or leaving them just inside the hall. Other rooms were different. Kitchens, entryways, and certain hallways allowed shoes because they were active spaces. Those areas handled daily traffic and no one worried much about footsteps or noise. The house quietly divided itself into zones, some practical, some protected.
Please remain calm. Reebok has taken every reasonable precaution to assure that the colors on our shoes will not overheat. We categorically deny that our colors have exceeded acceptable limits, causing your top to pop. There have been no incidents.
What made this rule interesting was how quickly it became automatic. You stopped noticing the decision entirely. You walked in, glanced down, and adjusted without thinking. Visitors sometimes needed guidance, but family members never did. They moved through the house with an understanding built from repetition. It wasn't really about cleanliness alone. It was about respect for space. Some rooms represented relaxation and order, and removing shoes acknowledged that difference. The act itself took only a moment, yet it showed awareness of the household's rhythm.
Oh, don't you look good? Yes, you look good. Now you got your sandals, you feel good. Aren't you in shape? Yes, you're in shape. In the great shape of your sandals, you feel good.
Number 9. Guests changed the entire mood of the house. When guests arrived, the house transformed. Voices softened, movements became calmer. You spoke more politely, even without being told to do so. Activities paused or changed. Children sensed immediately that behavior now reflected on the family. You didn't need instructions. You recognized the shift and adjusted. The home felt more formal, and you did too. And tell me in the comments, which unspoken rule do you remember most clearly? Chances are, many other homes followed the same one. Number 10. Nighttime had its own set of rules. As night approached, the house slowed. Lights dimmed gradually. Doors closed gently. Conversations shortened. Even walking patterns changed. Quieter steps, slower movement. No announcement said bedtime mode, yet everyone knew it had begun. The house itself seemed to signal rest. You followed the cues automatically because the rhythm was familiar. Day had energy, night had calm, and the home moved between them every evening without needing to say a word. These rules were never written down, yet they shaped daily life in many homes. Children didn't memorize them, they absorbed them. They created order without strictness and structure without constant instruction. The house itself taught behavior simply through repetition and routine. Looking back, those quiet expectations were part nostalgia, part guidance, and part preparation for the outside world. The home wasn't just a place to live, it was a place that gently taught how to behave within a shared space.